It's in the law that Britain will mine this place for the next 99 years. I don't know how long is the list.
Hi people, welcome you to another episode of Political Gist. Everywhere scatter as this video has been banned to be played on every social media based on the weight of the exposure of this video. My people, Tinubu cannot withstand the heat again. He cannot withstand the big blows he receives every day. That's why he sent Femi Gbajamiamila to tell us all the rubbish he came online to tell Nigerians about social media regulation. This video you are about to watch is one of the reasons for the social media regulation, but we are fearless and ready to bring to you what you need to know. The former president of Nigeria, OLUSEGUN OBASANJO, has a video that showcased online that exposed all the rubbish and evil plans of President Bola Ahmed TINUBU. It was until a lot of people saw this video that was when they realized and understand what has been happening. This video is a must to watch because Joshua MAPONGA also made a shocking exposure in this video. My people, share this video to every social media platform. If you cannot share, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. We'll be right back shortly.
Welcome back to Live TV show.
The home of crime scene.
It's happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happiness in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Welcome you to Large Report TV show, where we bring you political, celebrity, and religious gossip. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, do well to click the red subscription button and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop another trendy video.
My people, in this video, I won't be talking for long because I want you to see it for yourself what has been dragging Nigeria and most African countries backward. Obasanjo, in one of his past videos, exposed what the British has been doing to our country. This actually baffles and surprised a lot of people and attracted a lot of reaction. My people, revolution is the solution to this problem because this modernized slavery is taking the best part of Nigeria and Africa as a whole. If what body judge exposed about those top people in Nigeria is not true, then how come Dangote could build a refinery but a whole country cannot afford to repair and build their own refinery because of what they are going to hit? Tinubu is giving report to this set of people that colonized us. They gave us a system of government to put us under them. The suffering is now more than 10 times the tenure of Buhari. Obasanjo made this piece in such a way that every single person gives report of how Nigeria is being run. Back to these people that colonize us. Joshua MAPONGA blasts Nigeria government that how could we be taking our oil outside country for it to be refined, then buy it times 2 the amount we took it out. He even exposed that there are secret pipes that are linked with Nigeria oil from these same people that colonized us. That's why I will continue to say that until we heed to Amoyelishuwure now, revolution must take place. Nigeria has now turned to a country where government oppresses its people, steal public funds, and rub it all over our faces like there's nothing we can do. I will leave you to hear what Obasanjo said in this video. After then, Joshua MAPONGA video will be shown to you. My people, this video will shocktalize you. We'll be back right after the video. Watch and see the great exposure in this video. My people, it will shocktalize you.
I used to have fun because Chukwuma was not really a fan of the World Bank, and Ngozi came from the World Bank, and we had a woman who was on the desk of Africa in the World Bank called Kruger, and anytime Kruger was coming to Nigeria, we had to prepare as if a president of another nation is visiting us. And Kruger will come, he will give us what he thinks we are not doing right. He will then write a letter to us, which I had to reply. And I will give that letter a copy to Chukwuma. Give me a draft. A copy to Ngozi. Give me a draft. Chukwuma's draft will be so strong and almost saying no to everything. Of course, I will take the 2 drafts and spend the night and write the letter that will go to Kruger. And one day I called Chukwuma. I said, look, never you say no to World Bank, otherwise they will rub your face on the ground. But never you do their bidding. And that was the way we handled the World Bank together.
That's why the oil pipes of Nigeria are passing through villages where poverty is worst. British Petroleum. And Nigeria has to import back its own fuel as a processed product at a price 3 to 4, 5 times more than they send it out of the country. So tell me, Nigeria, after 60 years of mining oil, why up to date you don't have a processing and a refinery to purify your oil and sell petrol to the world. No, those mines don't belong to us. The government signed a document with the British government, and it's in the constitution, it's in the law, that Britain will mine this place for the next 99 years. I don't know how long is the lease. So you have the same law that you vote leaders into, and when they get into this law, the Western world always make sure the person going onto that chair understands the law which protects us. So the revolutionaries that are coming in now seem to have poor knowledge of law. They seem to have a good understanding of the community. It might end up causing Africa to move into a space of anarchy, lawlessness, but even that law itself is foreign to us. And until African leaders understand that now is time not to be talking politics, it's time to be talking economics. If I could give an advice to every African leader, before you leave parliament, build industries, build transport infrastructures, own buses as government, own manufacturing companies as government, own railway lines as government. Create these parastatals, these non-government organizations, but that are directly funded by the government, because the government is the only one who has money. You cannot wait for the bank. The bank wants sureties, and the poor people on the ground have poor land. They cannot use that as surety. So the only surety we have is the government itself. So the Chinese business, all the things that you see coming out of China are sponsored by the government of China. How many trillions are they making now? They're a superpower of manufacturing. It takes a government to have a direct intention. And again, if you look into the constitution, the government must not be seen to be doing any business. Your job is that of regulations. You must not be tampering with business. And who is tampering with the business? The same multinational companies. They don't even want you as government to come closer to where the money is made. You sit there and write the rules. And when you don't like the rules, we bribe your parliamentarians to come and vote the wrong thing in parliament, and it will be passed while you are sitting there. You are always in power, but not in control. Those who are going to hear what I'm saying, only those who are going to survive. Put aside your guns, put aside your military mindset. Start an economic revolution. You may just survive. Because this issue of 5 years election, we now know for the past 60 years, it's a waste of time. People have, even this thing of in democracy, it's a stupid concept. Because if democracy was for free, then why did we fight for it? If the white people knew that we needed democracy, then why did you colonize us? Why didn't you bring democracy in the first place? In fact, it is Africa now that is teaching the world democracy. Because you oppressed us, and in some cases we are still working in our countries and we have not killed you. We are giving you freedom, which you were not giving us when you were in power. So who is democratic now? Is it the one who was oppressing, or the one who is free and is giving you access to your own freedom also? So African democracy has actually liberated colonialists who were trapped in their world of supremacy and could not even practice democracy because they were not democratic themselves. So Africans beginning to understand who we are, where we are coming from, brewing and breeding a new breed of politicians who have a different conversations, putting these politicians in positions of influence where we can influence policy. We are able to start stopping fighting over colonial papers of voting and elections and all this useless time-wasting exercise. The real exercise is activating the economy. And once people have the economy in their hands, let me make it very simple. Own your means of production and own your value chains in the means of production. It's only when you begin to get into manufacturing that you don't need to worry about employment. You don't need to worry about the middle economy, because once there is ownership of land and there is exploitation of that land, not only in agriculture, but in housing, in farming, in dams, in mining, in etc. And once the land is in the hands of the people are going to create for themselves work. And with the work, people are going to improve themselves, create their own businesses. Government will never lose money when people are doing business, Because then you have a bigger tax base than taxing only a few individuals. Now you have created more economy at the bottom, and through that economy, you can be able to create a broader tax base. And tell me, 5 people give you 5,000 rand, 5,000 shillings each, or 1 million people give you 100 shillings each. Who has more money? So you cannot focus at 5 people who are going to give you 10. I have 50,000. Okay, I'll have 42 million people. Give me $1. Give me a shilling each. I'll still beat you with my hands down. So why is it that our governments are not looking at investing in the people? Because they are looking at short-term profit with the people that are already in business. This is long-term. This is short-term. And because it's short-term, I'm only here for 5 years. And you're going to vote me out. So there's no way I can sit around and have a plan for this country, which is 150 years. And I will not be here in 150 years. So our government ministers and presidents are busy signing treaties behind the doors for 2.5, 3-year plan, 5-year at most, and etc. I mean, look at Zimbabwe at one time. There's a dam that was commissioned to be built in 1912. 1912. Only 2 years ago did President Mnangagwa start building that dam. Because every government that comes in, it's a long-term project. It won't be finished in 5 years. It might not be finished in 6 years. Real infrastructure development is not a short-term program. It's a long-term program. But when you have a leader who is a short-term in office, and you as a country are expecting long-term solutions, you'll keep on changing leaders and multiplying the pace of long-term projects will never be reached. Will never be reached. Because every leader that comes in, it's 5 years. Some of them, you elect them into power on the first year. The second, and they're paying the people that put them in power. On the second year, their friends are coming closer. On the third year of their office, they are now thinking, what programs can I possibly start? So they do a survey. After the survey, on the 4th year, they get a team to start researching on the projects. On the 5th year, they are too busy doing campaigns. Elections. For the next election. If they get into power on the other year, then they are starting to do financing. On the 7th year, now they are doing procurement and tendering. On the 8th year, possibly, if you are lucky, you see the first bag of cement going on site. And on the 9th year, they are already planning for campaigns. They will not be here again. And okay, let's say he gets out of office. The new guy comes and say, that last project was not important. It's not a priority. Me, I want to start my own. There you have in government offices files and files of projects that are approved. Some of them 1% done, some of them 2% done and stopped. Some of them have 50% roads that have been built and it just gets somewhere and it stops. And you wonder what happened? Did you not plan this road to be 10 kilometers? Why is only 2 kilometers and it has been here for the past 3-4 years? The director who was on top when he arrived says, no, let's move this money. It's not a priority. Over there. So we don't have a continuous, seamless plan, implementation and delivery because it's always interrupted by political leaders. Here's the solution. Change your political figures on top. When it comes to permanent secretaries and directors in departments, keep those as long as possible because they have the intellectual property of the heartbeat of the organization. That's why Fauci in America could say, I worked with George Bush Sr. I worked with George Bush Jr. I worked with Bill Clinton. I worked with Obama. I worked with Trump. Now, how many presidents is that? And this is the permanent secretary in the Department of Health. So the whole IP and the health of America over the past 5 to 6 presidents sits with one man who is accountable for, he must be accountable for what he's doing because the IP is being passed. Whether the agenda that was started is for us or against us, it's progressive, I think we can leave that for another day. But the idea of keeping a constant person in charge of information, whether it is public works or it is health or it is education, and here at this level That's where you plant the long-term project. So that when each president comes in, he is already informed. We are finishing the 10-kilometer road. Don't tell us.
We're not going to change that.
We are finishing this. So even if you put a cat or a dog on American government, the government will run. Because there is president, first in command, there is second in command, third in command, fourth in command, and the system will protect the dog on top. Because it is seamlessly holding the long-term plan, which must be implemented. So when a president comes and he was told that in 2025, we're going to be striking country X, and they've been sitting here planning the war for the past 7-10 years. And on the 9th year, you are elected as a president. There is nothing you will do to stop the permanent secretary strategic plan for the country. So I told Mr. President, you don't have to think through this one, just press the button. And it's done. So we need a system that is seamless to that level, where African politicians could understand the intertwined relationship between economics and politics and empower the people to rule themselves. They will not forget you. People are afraid of dealing with powerful people because they're afraid they will eliminate me. But we cannot love you because of poverty. And poor people have no choices.
I mean, I think one of the challenges that we face is that every president that comes in, they come with their playbook and they're like, these are the things I want to do because I want people to remember that I'm the one who started them and finished them. When their term is over, they haven't finished it, the next person comes in, same story. And it's like you have projects that have just started 5% in and they're left like it's...
If they had started and the money is still there and the material is still there, we'll be saying maybe we can continue. Most likely when those projects stop, no one stops to ask, so what happened to the budget? What happened to the machinery? What happened to the materials? I mean, this was supposed to be 10 million project and only 200,000 was put. So what happened to the rest? So that money is somewhere. Maybe the money flew away. Maybe the money is stuck somewhere. Maybe the money is in someone's account, or maybe it's being eaten somewhere.
Or it's in their home.
Maybe that material actually built his house back in the village. Maybe that road was diverted and he has put a tarred road in front of his own house. The plight of Africa, where you eat money, where you must build a clinic, where your own mother and grandmother will get tablets for high blood pressure. And you are given money to build that clinic, where you protect and preserve your own family. And you eat that money. You eat the money for the road that rushes your own mother to the hospital. There's nothing that can be as evil as a politician who eats public funds. Because you're not only destroying the public, you're destroying yourself and you're destroying your own family. These are your relatives. They need the services. And then you eat the money. And then you buy a 4x4 so that you can run on dust roads that have potholes, instead of taking your 4x4 and fixing the road so that other drivers and boarders can ride also nicely.
The late President Magufuli of Tanzania said that economic war is the hardest of all wars. He said it's harder than a war of guns. And I think we are seeing that almost everywhere.
It takes a different software. That's the problem. For military war, we go to a camp, we roll on the floor, we do push-ups, we do shoot up stuff. This is how you get grenade, how to break guns. You train 6 months, 1 year. Then you pick up a gun in your sleep. Now talk about the economic war. Why would Magufuli say that? Because you are moving a soldier who was trained to shoot, to blast, detonate grenades and you put him on a balance sheet. This is the reality of African politicians who walk from the bush with whatever kind of education they received. This one story. Then you move this entire system into they come as political people into the economic boardrooms. So there's frustration as to why things are not changing, because the very understanding of how the system is wired, they never went on the shooting range to train as economic soldiers, where if you are going to be doing a revolution on the economic table, the revolution on the economic table needed the same discipline and training that we did for political liberation. And maybe let's give you the full war after we have fought the political war and won. Then we discover we have an economic war which must be fought, we must win. Then we'll discover there's an academic war of education that we must fight and win. Then we discover there's an agricultural war we must fight and win. Then sports and entertainment, we must first fight and win. And lastly, spirituality. So I've actually designed for you, your generation, the 7 major pillars that the modern young people, you need to understand this battle, or else your fathers stood up after political war. Oh, now we need economic war. We don't need to go that route. Let's activate all the 7 of them and let's implement solution. Unfortunately, the disadvantage we have is that the educated young people are drowning in the Mediterranean. These military leaders who are coming into space, the young people, the technocrats that they need, who can implement the project, they're either too old or they're on the Mediterranean. So now you have the political environment that is conducive. The question is, do you have the academic, the economic, the agriculturalist, and the industrialists who can now fit into those vacuums? Because the danger is you take over. You chase away the French, you chase away the British, who were manufacturing your sugar and your bread and your peanut butter, because you abandoned your old ways of life as Africans. So bread will go on scarcity on the market. Salt will go on scarcity on the market. Because the people who have been supplying these things is not you.
Yeah.
But the same people that you're chasing away. So you're going to end up with a hunger strike. And once people get into the rampage of hunger, you are back again. This leader is not good. Let's change him. Let's put another one. And this has been the vicious cycle. So the real war is entrepreneurship, putting means of production in the hands of young people, creating conducive environments for young people to function, and grow the economy from the bottom. You as government put preferential procurement policies that encourage indigenous people. It takes longer, but it is sustainable. And it is fully owned by local people. Because right now, even if we talk about uranium, let uranium stop. Uranium stops. Are your universities right now equipped to build a laboratory, a station for uranium? Is your government prepared to do that? Where do you get the machinery? Where do you get this? So instead of just stopping the uranium, which is giving you the money for now, you may want to sell it at a competitive price, but commit that of every dollar that of per watt goes into the full beneficiation of that resource that you have. So whether it is Zambia for their copper, it is Zimbabwe for their lithium, it is Niger for their uranium. The question is, are you just selling these raw materials? And if you stop selling them, how are you going to have the money that you were having to run the government? But if you should be selling it, what are you doing in the proceeds of that? You're using the money for the proceeds to spend on other things instead of investing on the resource that can actually grow itself. We need to run governments like businesses.
Now from this video, you will see, apart from the fact that these people that are called the Europeans do not want us to be totally free from their authority, even our so-called government are gluttons, wicked and unpatriotic set of people. The loans gotten from the World Bank and other foreign country is actually a means with which our currency is devaluing, and instead of our government to invest and develop the country with this loan, buying of yachts, buying of fleet of cars is their major concern. Joshua MAPONGA said it in that video. Tinubu has actually disappointed a lot of people with all this bad economy that the Nigeria is engulfed in. That is why it will continue to get me angry whenever I remember what Pastor Adeboye said, that our problem in this country is spiritual. Please, can he just explain how our problem in this country is spiritual? This is actually obvious. This is due to our government negligence and cowardice, not being capable of leading and ruling the country right. MAPONGA said before any of them rule this nation, they are introduced to this foreign law that guides them, that guides that presidential seat, and that is why we see a lot of rubbish that is being perpetrated by this set of people. Revolution is now. Oga has want to finish everybody. My people, feel free to drop your opinion at the comment section. Tell us what you feel about this video. Tell us what you feel about what you've seen in this video. Do not forget to share this video to every social media platform. If you cannot share, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. And if you are coming across this channel for the very first time, do well to click the red subscription button and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop another trendy video. See you in our next video. Bye for now.